Okay, Satoshi sells off 80,000 BTC, and like new patent claims are coming out on actual secure asset tokenization and digital ledger. Let's break this down along with the how it's going to affect the new legislation that's in play right now with the Genius Act. All right, so all right, let me share my screen. Now there's some posts on X that are cracking off that basically you've got 80,000 BTC from the Satoshi wallets moved. That's 8.69 billion to an exchange. That's all the wallet transactions. And let's not kid ourselves. Those are definitely Satoshi coins. So some of the other people are saying, "Oh, well, it might be Satoshi coins." They're definitely Satoshi coins right here. Yeah, because it will link into an exchange here shortly. I'm sure somebody will do the research. It's an exchange, and those are being on an exchange that requires KYC. So anybody who wants to follow the money on this one, you could probably pretty quickly find out who Satoshi is. Now, again, take you back to the beginning. I mean, we already know in America, under U.S. law, what happened in the Kleiman v. Wright case. So we've already got the controlling decision out there of who controls all these Satoshi coins. We already know that. That's the law. That's been determined by a jury. That's not a dispute. That is not a disputable fact. It's not up for debate anymore. So we know who controls all the Satoshi wallet addresses. We already know that. That's decided as a matter of law. So that is not my personal opinion. Whether I like it or not doesn't matter. It is what it is. Wright controls all those addresses. So these are Wright. All right, that's who it is. On another post here, I want to share this video. Now, this is Reggie. Now hold on, let me share make sure I'm sharing sound. All right, so let's see, share sound. Yeah, Reggie posted this.
Is an innovation. And we at the SEC should be focused on how do we advance innovation in the marketplace. And so I would argue here over the last several years, the SEC has been standing athwart efforts to innovate in the marketplace because things have been unclear. The rules have not been clear. We've had regulation through enforcement. That day is over. We are now, my whole goal is to make things transparent, from the regulatory aspect and give people a firm foundation upon which to innovate and to come out with new products and so that they know what they're doing.
I think there are two things to think about, Andrew, and that's tokenization of U.S. stocks, which is one thing which could drive a lot of cost savings. Credit, I think you were mentioning, which is a complete individual investor access to private credit, which is also another. Valuations are very difficult, particularly I would imagine for an individual investor. I mean, there are a lot of things that here that are new frontiers for investors. Where do you stand on that?
Well, two questions. So as far as tokenization and other innovations in the marketplace to make trading and holding securities easier and with quick settlement, my predecessor pushed for what we call T+1, meaning settlement and clearance the day after the trade, the trading day. And so tokenization and other aspects of doing that tokenization in the marketplace is yet the next step to have much more efficiency in the marketplace and certainty of having a trade settle.
Yeah. So what he's talking about here is about the regulatory side of this tokenization and how the law is going to apply to this in the U.S., which is happening right now. And Reggie asks, is secure asset tokenization over a digital ledger patented already? Then Wright replies with this patent, yes. And that's the Universal Tokenization System blockchain patent application. But it's going back to a Great Britain patent in 2016. And it's 39 pages. So what I did was I ran it through Grok on this because I don't want to read it, but let me just give you the findings really quick. I'll show you exactly what happened. First, well, yeah, let me just share the end. Yeah, so I asked it about the effect of this patent, and I didn't really patent's claims about securing asset tokenization are valid. It's robust. It provides a framework for representing and transferring assets as tokens on blockchains using cryptographic techniques as multi-signature scripts to ensure security, integrating and controlled access. The methods are particularly suited for assets like fiat-backed tokens, smart contracts, or other transferable rights, as demonstrated in examples, fiat currency, commercial coins, etc. So right now, what do we have in the way of fiat for tokenization? All right, why would that be important? I mean, if you haven't been following, right? Yeah, so the Genius Act, that's an overview, is generating effective and novel innovation for U.S. strength. It's not just primary cryptocurrency focused bill. It's introduced to Congress early in 2021, but now it's gaining strength. It's in committee and it's not passed yet, but it's definitely it's got a lot of momentum. So there's no evidence of it actually passing, right? So it's not it hasn't gotten past Senate or anything, but it's definitely it's a big push towards tokenization of these stable coins. All right, exactly what this patent is talking about. One of these basically, yeah, this patent is talking about, and that's super important because as you saw, that SEC chair, like a person who actually matters when it comes to like these types of inventions, they are going to follow regulation. Regulation complies with civil and also criminal. So when I talk about regulation, it's like, yeah, they have, they're when things roll out, now not the legislation, okay, but the implementation of things. When they roll out, they want to make sure that they're compliant, whatever's going to happen, that it's not stepping on patents and inventions as well, because that's part of regulation. Because if so, then it just open up to patent litigation. That's which is extremely expensive. Yeah, so Satoshi-era coins move. It looks like it's 80,000 BTC sell-off on four. Actually, they didn't sell yet, but they were moved over to exchanges. And that's on July 4th. I think it's symbolic. 80,000 BTC, $8 billion at once. And they're all tied back to the Satoshi-era coins, which we know from Kleiman v. Wright, which was up on appeal. You can read the holding, and it says, in this matter, we are going to determine, I'll share it. It's so important. Yeah, so here it is. This appeal involves the ownership dispute, an ownership dispute stemming from the origins of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Boom. First line. Now, this is the opinion by the 11th Circuit. That's U.S. law. Okay. The first line, it sets forth what's settled here, in this appeal, the ownership dispute over the origins of Bitcoin and who created it and all these Satoshi coins. So that was settled at the end. It was held at the end that was right, not Kleiman. Now that's another important holding. I do have an idea that I may be reaching out. I had an idea. I saw there's new papers, like new Bitcoin papers, like really high level university academic papers that were published here about mining it by Dr. Wright. So I thought about reaching out to him and maybe asking him to talk about his papers and hear his perspective on like the importance of them. And he doesn't have to get into like the this stuff here about selling the coins and all that. That's not what I would ask him. Because you just have to follow the case and go into the details, and plus I don't think he's allowed to say anything like that anyways. So because of the UK corrupt Judge Mudd over there in the UK, the one that was ruling on his own disqualification, that hammered it down, wore the clown outfit when they were going to put Craig in jail. Remember that? So yeah, so I don't think that he's allowed to talk about it because of that. So anyways, that's just the latest. Happy 4th. It's all tying back to the 4th and the independence. I think remember, Bitcoin is freedom's final frontier. because it's all the legislation, all this stuff is happening in the U.S. right now. And my home sweet home, it's still, we've got to tie up the last piece of the loose end, which is the peer-to-peer cash side of owning our own data on chain, the stuff Babbage is doing, and everything that's tying back to the original Bitcoin. So I'll see about reaching out to him potentially and maybe doing a show, and I can open source the videos. I don't need to, I know the last time he did shows with someone, they destroyed all those videos and will not let anyone watch them. So I would just open source them or give them back to him. So I'm not going to claim them, so anybody can use them or upload them. All right. So I'll consider that. Hit the ones. I'll see you at the top. Happy 4th. This is Gavin Mehl.